You can transmute thoughts of anger, hatred, into positive physical energy, spiritual force. This just happened to me. I brought back vegetables from the garden, and my mother, she triggered something in me. She was being very negative and saying very bossy, cruel things, and I could feel her anger and her frustration, and she was taking it out on me, just because I was cooking soup, and I guess she didn't like the smell. And yeah, when she was bossing me around and being rude, and I could feel her being just very angry, it started trying to trigger that in me. It started trying to trigger all of the grime of the past, everything, every fight, and all these thoughts of like how much I don't like her, and all these thoughts about how I wish that she wouldn't say stuff like that, and thoughts of disliking her, and anger, and honestly hatred. Everything started coming back, because who wants to be around that? Who wants to be around all that negativity on such a beautiful day, on such a beautiful life? And you know, like, I just felt very stirred up, and all these past unhealed angers, I guess, got agitated again, and realized I have to deal with it, you know? And so instead of letting those thoughts of hatred and violence take their place and dig deeper engrams into my heart, you know what I did? I took all that frustration, anger, and hatred, and I replaced it with the opposite, because I refuse to live this life full of hate and resentment, and I'm not gonna be like that. And so I went outside, and I was literally pacing around, and you know, it was right before I ate my eggs. I made some beautiful eggs and toast and ghee, and I was happy to eat it, and then I just got stirred up, but I wasn't gonna let myself blame. I wasn't gonna let myself accuse and victimize and make her a villain. And I basically said, I am going to get extreme amounts of empathy and love right now. I am not going to let this anger and this hatred take deeper root in me. And so I just started doing positive affirmations of love and forgiveness and understanding and transcendence, because I refuse to participate in the continual cycle of hatred. I won't participate in that. I'm gonna break that cycle. And I started thinking, you know, it's like one person's angry, one person has negative thoughts, one person has bitterness that they spread, and then that person gets it. And thoughts are so contagious. They're worse than the Spanish flu. They're worse than any disease, and they spread it, and then that person gets infected, and they get confused, and their thoughts and emotions get vitiated and imbalanced, and it keeps on spreading, and then they carry it around, because we don't know how to forgive and let go of these things, and then they carry it around, and this is creating sickness and disease inside their body, because every thought communicates to every cell in your body, and this is what's causing diseases and inflammation and toxicity inside you. And then it's like it creates a latent potential sleeping dormant monster inside you that can get aggravated and come out again when the same energy hits you, the same violence, the same anger, the same annoyance. It comes out again, and then you have that maelstrom, that storm of hatred and anger rise up again, and you're not letting go of it, and it's living inside of you. And we need the grace of righteousness, of whatever you want to call it, of wisdom, of virtue. We need more people operating on this frequency. There are people who are compassionate and they can say, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. They're confused. They're causing pain. They're drawing a sword against themselves and me and all of humanity, ingraining the cycle of hatred more and more and more, when life should be so free and beautiful for us to work together in harmony and teamwork. And yet, look at the state of humanity. So much prejudice, so much pride, so much anger, so much pettiness. No humility. But that's not true. There is humility, and there is forgiveness, and there is love, and there is transcendence. And we can. And every time, talking about thought power, Swami Sivananda, every time we resist and replace and upgrade those thoughts and tendencies, our heart expands and we get stronger, our will becomes stronger to make this life beautiful and loving, and to refuse to cooperate in the cycle of hatred. That's what humanity needs. This is our ultimate goal. This is our ultimate mission, is to transcend these things. And thought has power. And instead of going into the library and reading and working on these books, I just sat and I invoked the opposite sentiment. And I'm gonna do good to her, because the truth is she's suffering. She has these deep engrams of frustration and anger, and we have to erase them, and we have to upgrade them and move past it. And she's the one suffering, is why she's spreading it. And I'm not gonna participate. I'm going to obliterate. So I started thinking, poor mother, she's attacking me, her own son, confused, and she doesn't know, she doesn't want to spread this misery and this anger and this hatred. She's caught in it, and I have to find a way. I'm gonna buy her something. I'm gonna appreciate the love that she's given me as a child. I'm gonna say words of appreciation, not even fake. The truth is, she did raise me with love. And she did her best, and she's still doing her best. And I don't care if my gift and my words don't literally make any physical difference in her behavior, because it's making a difference in me. And that's what I can do. And I refuse to let my mind go down that avenue, because yeah, it's just drama. It's just drama, and it's it's not that big of a deal, and these little things can feel big though. So this is a real life example. This is why I'm reading these books. This is why I'm meditating. I want to be different. I want to ingrain what I believe in into this world. That's the real healing. That's the real medicine. We all need healing. We all need healing. And it's there. Humanity as a whole needs healing. And it's there. It's there to those who are available. And every time an individual even transcends, it's like this energy of transcendence is put there for everybody to eat and to partake in and to transcend. Because when I was sitting here, I was thinking, oh God, something, grace, I need grace, I need transcendence. It was so tempting to go back into anger and hatred. And I just imagined all the faces of all the righteous people that I know, all the loving, happy, light-hearted, mature people that I know, whether that's people living or people dead. And I invoked that that different energy, that transcendence. And that's how we do it. This is what we have to do. This is the real work. Thought is the real action. It's all about building that will, building our character through every thought. The real battle's in the mind. Your destiny is really in your mind. And thinking is the most powerful force in the universe. It's what creates the action. It's what creates the habits. It's what creates the character. It's what creates the destiny. It's what creates the world. And that was interesting. That was actually very intense and pleasant. It was different. It was very different. Much nicer than blaming and going into anger and hatred. And we were all on a path, and we all have growing to do and healing our hearts and moving on. And it's like every time we do it, we get a stronger heart. Guys, I'm talking to whoever's listening, but massage therapists, you know, everybody should be a doctor to themselves, and everybody should be a mother and a doctor to the world. We're not here just to be successful in terms of money. We're here to be successful in spirit, in heart, and to be able to build successful characters. And I'm blessed to have heard the concepts of the mind and, you know, transmutation. You can use your anger, you can transmute your hatred, you can transmute it by positive affirmation to the opposite. You can reframe it. It's like, you know, I took responsibility. I didn't blame her. I said, you know, she's igniting something inside me. It's not her, it's me. And, you know, I transcend this. That's the real change. That's the real success, you know? And I guess it's like, to make this practical, I guess, if this isn't practical enough as it is, it's like we gotta bring energy. We gotta bring good energy to our clients, to our family, to our friends, to all of humanity, to everywhere we go. Good energy, good thoughts. And, yeah, guys, like, that's what Swami Sivananda says in this book, and I guess that's why I wanted to come on here and share. Everyone has their own challenge, and but there is power and transcendence, and that love is still a possibility. Yeah, that's the real healing. Thinking the opposite thought. When I had thoughts of anger, I thought, no, I'm gonna think thoughts of love, and it wasn't easy. It's like emotions. But I remembered the show Naruto, and, you know, he has this demon inside of him, and because he had this demon inside of him, everybody hated him in the village ever since he was a kid. And his story is like, he suffers so much because of all the rejection and hatred that people give him because of this demon. And the truth was, he was given this demon to protect everybody from the demon. You don't want me to be here? Yeah, I'm okay.
I was just coming to check.
Yeah, no, I was just meditating. Now I'm just making a video.
I thought there was something wrong, but I'm just walking past.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
I like to check in the back to see if anything else
Uh-huh.
is going on and stuff like that. But if everything's good, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's okay. And long story short, he basically goes on the hero's journey, and he ends up making friends somehow. He ends up changing his heart into somebody who wants to protect the village instead of destroy the village. He transcended all the hatred to all the people who despised him and were prejudiced against him and rejected him and hurt him physically, mentally. He overcame all of it. And he became the protector of the city. He became the president of the city. They call it Hokage. He transcended it. But he met somebody along the way who was in the exact same situation as him, who had a demon stored inside him to protect the village from the demon, and everybody hated him. His name is Gara. And what happened with him is he actually ended up hating everybody. He wasn't able to transcend because he didn't have that one person that showed him love and helped him gain hope and helped him replace all that hatred with love. He went down the opposite path. He didn't have that one teacher to change the chain of events and to get him out of the cycle of hatred. And he remained in the cycle of hatred. And he ended up being so powerful. He was a murderer, and he killed people. And he was on such a bad path. And that's what can happen. But Naruto, the one who transcended, he even got to a point where he met the demon inside of him, and he pointed his finger at him and he said, "One day I'm coming even after you." Meaning, one day I'm coming after all the hatred even inside of you. He's going to transcend all the hatred. He learned to love even the demon that caused all of his pain. It's like, can we do that? Can we? We can. We can be like that. We can transcend, and we can learn to have whatever attitude we want. It's our choice. We can go into despondency and hatred and anger and sow and reap pain and misery, and humanity can keep on falling further and further down. Everybody that we meet will fall further and further down with this infectious disease of anger and hatred for each other, and frustration and unhappiness. Or we can rise above it and create simplicity and laughter and lightheartedness and joy, and move past it. And then you can be an agent of that light. Because Naruto met Gara, and over time Gara woke up and he said, "I don't want to be this demon anymore. It doesn't make any sense. I'm destroying myself and everybody with me. There's no point." His heart was opened by the possibility of something higher because he saw the way that Naruto lived. Naruto told him his story and they fought. And Naruto was the inspiration. Just like that, we have inspiration of masters and people all around us who have overcome and are high above, and we can grow into that, and we can become that in a moment's grace. And that's our only destiny. That's why we're here. The transcendence and the evolution of humanity lies on the collective and the individual. And that's why Naruto became such a successful anime, such a successful story, because man, the power of those scenes, the power of those characters, it speaks to everyday life, and it speaks to what we're here doing. And they leave such deep impressions on our hearts and our minds, and we will remember that as we move forward. We're not here just to make a buck. We're not here just to have petty pleasures. There's so much depth and beauty to life, but we have to take out the weeds and the rocks and all the hatred and come after every single one of our demons, so that we can have self-mastery, and that's the ultimate goal of human life. What can I say? I feel a lot better, and don't ever neglect to take the time to fight the battle of good thought, of righteous thought, of transcendent thought, of high thoughts, of lovely thoughts, of light, of forgiving thoughts. Whatever thoughts create life, okay? Never neglect your time, never suppress. You might have to go and see this client, but then after that, give yourself the time to sit down and be with grace, and be with truth, and be with your honest self, and transmute all of that darkness, anything that you might have. Transmute it with the burning force of your heart into whatever you think is righteous, whatever you think is holy, whatever you think is life is a better word, so that you can be more alive and you'll be a healer to yourself and the world. Because thought is the real poison, and thought is the real medicine, and thought is what's creating our life here as humans together. And we can create a beautiful reality, but it starts in here with the power from our heart. Okay, I just wanted to be honest, 100% transparent, and yeah, I hope this helps you guys. I hope this helps one person. It helps me either way. It helps my mom. Thought is the real battle. Thought is the real action. You can change the world just by your thoughts.